Hi. All right. Um, Humble Pie, 1969 to 75. Marriott's first post Small Faces venture was with the rock group Humble Pie, formed with the former Herd member Peter Frampton. Initially, the group was a huge hit in the US and the UK, but Humble Pie split in 1975 due to lack of later chart success, and Marriott went solo and released an album in 1976. Reunion 1975 to 78. Following the breakup of Faces in 1975, the original Small Faces lineup reformed briefly to film videos miming the reissued Ichiku Park, which hit the charts again. Um, the group tried recording together again, but Lane left after the rehearsal due to an argument. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. Unknown to the others, he was beginning to show symptoms of multiple sclerosis, and his behavior was misinterpreted by Marriott and the others as a drunken tantrum. Gee, that really sucks. He died of that, I'm pretty sure. Um, Spoiler alert. It's not funny. Nevertheless, Ian McLagan, Jones, and Marriott decided to stay together as Small Faces, recruiting ex-Roxy Music bassist Rick Wills to take Lane's place. This iteration of Small Faces recorded two albums, Playmates 1977 and 78 in the Shade 1978, released on Atlantic Records. Guitarist Jimmy McCulloch, or whatever the fuck, as we previously acknowledged, I don't know how to say that name, I have no idea. Squim Squim also briefly joined this lineup after leaving Wings. Fuck Wings! Wings sucks! If you like Wings, you're a cock! Haha! Anyway, when McCulloch or McCulloch or Mickey Cunningham, what? I don't know, phoned Paul McCartney, who had found him increasingly difficult to work with, to announce he was joining Marriott. McCartney reportedly said, "I was a little bit put out at first, but well, what can you say to that?" Mickey McDonald's tenure with the band lasted for only a few months in late 1977. He recorded only one album, 78 in the Shade, in 1978 with the band. The reunion albums were both critical and commercial failures. Small Faces broke up again in 1978. Post-reunion activity, 1979 to present. Kenny Jones became the drummer of The Who after Keith Moon's death. Rest in peace to a legend. We love Keith Moon. We stand Keith Moon in this household. He's weird and crazy, and he's got cute eyes and bushy eyebrows, and I like him. Wish you didn't die, Keith Moon. Love you. Anyway, in 1978, and continued to work with The Who through the late 1980s. His most recent work includes a band he formed named The Jones Gang. That's cool. Ian McLagan went on to perform with artists such as Bonnie Raitt, Bob Dylan, the 1984 European tour, the Rolling Stones, David Lindley, and his ex band El Rayo X, among others, and more recently Billy Bragg. I don't know some of these people, but that's okay. In 1998, he published his autobiography, All the Rage. He lived in a small town of Manor outside of Austin, Texas. Wait, Manor isn't a British place? Oh! Okay, so I think earlier I might have mistakenly assumed that Manor was a place in England, and then I made fun of how you never know how to pronounce British place names. But this is in Texas, so if this is the same manner as before in a previous video, like in I think two videos back, then I'm a little embarrassed because I was wrong, I was mistaken. Oh well. And was band leader to his own bump band. He died from a stroke on the 3rd of December 2014. Rest in peace. Rest in mushy little green peas. Steve Marriott recorded with a revived lineup of Humble Pie from 1980 to 1982. During their tour of Australia in 1982, this version of Humble Pie was sometimes billed as Small Faces in order to sell more tickets. Along with Ronnie Lane, he formed a new band called the Magic. I'm not gonna say that. Not gonna say that. It's a bad word. Magic Little People in 1981. But this band's lone album, Together Again, The Magic Little People recordings, was not issued until 2000. Later, in the 1980s, Marriott went solo, playing nearly 200 concerts a year. On Saturday, 20th of April 1991, Steve Marriott died in his sleep when a fire caused by a cigarette swept through his home in Essex, England. His death came bef- just a few days after he had begun work on a new album in the United States with his former Humble Pie bandmate Peter Frampton. See, the crazy thing about Steve's death is that one of the little stories of his legend, because he's kind of like a little, he's a bit like a Sid Barrett type celebrity person, a character person, where like part of his legend is like all these little stories that have like conflicting perspectives, and they're all kind of like hearsay, and they're all sort of rumors and mysteries. He's a mysterious guy. So one of the things about Steve Marriott is that when he was a kid or a teenager or something, his school burned down and he was blamed for it. But he denies that he did it. But no one knows whether or not he really did burn his school down and whether it was deliberately or on accident. But anyway, like, it's just kind of interesting that, like, this happened in his younger years with this fire, and then later on he died by a fire. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little spooky. But I just gotta say, all those little places in Britain, I feel that like a lot of the very old British buildings are like very much a fire hazard. Like, I get the sense that they weren't built to withstand fire the way that newer buildings are, and I assume that there's probably laws made in order to keep them relatively safe. But as we know, people don't really care, and they don't really take care of the houses. And I'm not necessarily blaming the people living there. Like, well, yeah, I don't really know who to blame, but I'm just saying, I get the sense that a lot of them older British houses are not very safe against fires. Ronnie Lane's recording career was curtailed by the effects of multiple sclerosis, though he issued collaborative albums with Pete Townsend and Ronnie Wood in the late 1970s. He moved to the United States and continued to perform live into the early 1990s. Lane died at his home in Trinidad, Colorado on the 4th of June 1997 after battling MS for nearly 20 years. Yeah, yeah, very sad. Rick Wills of the reunited Small Faces played on David Gilmour's 1978 album David Gilmour, then joined Foreigner later that year. He stayed with Foreigner for 14 years until 1992. Subsequently, Wills was a member uh, of Bad Company from 1993 to 1999, and again briefly in 2001. Currently, he lives in Cambridge, England. That's where Sid Barrett's from, and works with Kenny Jones in the Jones Gang. Mickey D's McDonald's Mickey Mouse stint with Small Faces only lasted for a few months in late 1977. Shortly after leaving, he started a band called Wild Horses with Brian Robertson, Jimmy Bain, and Kenny Jones. He and Jones both left the band before they issued any recordings. McDonald's then became a member of the Dukes, who issued one album in 1979. The same year, Mickey Mouse died. Oh, that's not funny. I shouldn't say that. I don't. I still don't know how to say his name. Okay, this guy died at the age of 26 from a heroin overdose in his Maida Vale, in his flat in Maida Vale. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, it's really sad. He fucking died of a heroin overdose. It's really sad. It really is. I'm not. This is not a fucking joke. It's really sad. I don't even know this guy, but it's just sad. Drugs are scary. Anyway, honors and awards. In 1996, Small Faces were awarded the Ivor Novello Outstanding Contribution to British Music Lifetime Achievement Award. On the 4th of September 2007, a Small Faces and Don Arden commemorative plaque issued by the London Borough of Westminster was unveiled in their memory in Carnaby Street. Fuck yeah, Carnaby Street, yeah, turn up, whoa, whoa, Carnaby Street, yeah, wake up, America. Kenny Jones, who attended the ceremony, said in a BBC television interview, "To honor Small Faces after all these years is a terrific achievement. I only wish that Steve Marriott, Ronnie Lane, and the late Don Arden were here to enjoy this moment with me." On the 7th of December 2011, Small Faces were announced as 2012 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The induction ceremony was held on the 14th of April 2012. Yep. The rest of it is just linkies. Linkies. Just little linkos. Yeah. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoy. Oh, wait! That's right. I was going to show you some interviews, so let's go. I can no longer see my face. Oh, wait, yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. Come on. Come on. There we are. Alright, hello. I don't know if I also disappeared on your end, but on my end, I couldn't see this little window in the corner, this little circle that has my face in it. It disappeared, and I'm pretty sure it disappeared for you too because I saw the light of the camera go off and then turn back on. So I'm assuming that we both mutually didn't see me for a second. But anyway, let's have some interviews, shall we? Sha-la-la-la-la-la-lee. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-lee.
Von ihm selbst komponiert. Sie heißt Just You, Tony Sheridan.
Okay, let's get another one. The night's still young. Oh, this one's not an interview, but this one is just Steve Marriott when he was a little guy. I mean, he's always been a little guy. He's always a little guy. He was a little guy throughout his whole life. But this was when he was like a teenager. This is him. Well, yeah. So he was like an older teenager in this one. Is him in Be My Guest, a 1965 film. I've never seen it because I feel like if it was good, more people would be telling me it's good, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm always going to want to have some Steve Marriott content, some Steve Marriott media, but I feel like this one probably isn't the best because people would tell me it was good. Like, on the internet, they'd be raving about it. I feel like you'd find groups talking about how special this film is, but they're not. So that tells me that it's probably not special, despite having the glorious Steve Marriott in it.
To the business of no business, right?
I'll give you business. This is serious, mate.
Yeah, but there's no need for hearts and flowers, is
Look,
there?
just shut up and get stuck into those. Now go on, Phil.
I've given the matter a lot of thought. The problem's publicity, banging the drum, right? Now that banner was a good idea of your dad's, but what? Even if they let it stay up, what then? It just stays. How long did it take you to work that out? Have you finished it? Well, I haven't. What I mean is, that banner should be mobile.
Spread the publicity. It's not a bad idea, you know.
And the best way? Cinema. TV, well, it's obvious.
Oh, go on. We'll buy it.
Get the picture. Music up and a couple of birds chatting. You, darling, you look years younger. Have you been away? Oh, just a weekend in Brighton. Really? Well, I've been there, but never come back looking, well, so refreshed. And even your hair, so smooth. Ah, that's because there's no washing up at the Seaview. And it's so peaceful, as if nobody was there but you. So take my tip. Be my guest at the Seaview Guest House.
That was cute, wasn't it? I like his voice.
Soon. in Sweden.
Nice
Will you come next time
soon.
to bring your new LP?
Yeah.
What's it
Yeah.
called?
It's got so many titles. Yeah,
Many
undecided.
titles.
It's got about 8.
Can't you say some of them?
I might get banned from Swedish TV. I don't know if they're cool yet.
So that one was quiet, but if you guys couldn't hear, I tried turning it up, but if you guys couldn't hear, it was like the guy was asking him like, "What's the name of your new album that you're gonna put out?" And Steve was like, "There's so many, we haven't decided yet." And the guy was like, uh, "Can you tell us a few of these ideas you have for the name of the album?" And Steven was like, "I don't know. I don't know if Sweden's cool, you know." Because I guess you got to be cool to appreciate them otherwise. Because they're probably something a little bit maybe scandalous or a little raunchy or something like that. Because that's how the small faces can be sometimes. They can be a little vulgar, a little crass, a little bit. But they're still cool. All that they're wonderful. Really, they're glorious. Um. Okay.
After our initial hit, what you gonna do
That sounds weird. It's all blaring because of this sound, this thingy. All right.
about it?
Oh look, sus! Oh my god, guys, look, it's sus. Eh, I'm meme poisoned. My brain is poisoned by memes. Anyway, yeah, Among Us, sus, sussy baka, whatever memes. Yes.
We started to get lots of fans and lots of girls all screaming and running after the car and all that, because this was, I suppose everyone in those days thought that was necessary, because that's what happened. I mean, the Beatles started all that, and back to the Beatles again. They seemed to be to blame for quite a lot of fun, didn't they? It wasn't always great though. Sometimes it was quite terrifying. I mean, really, really terrifying. Yeah, there was this time when we did a personal appearance at a football match, and it was advertised up in Halifax. It was like a stars football match, We'd go around in this car, and it was advertised. And anyway, we got there, and there was loads of kids there. And sure enough, we went on in a car. We were supposed to have gone on in an open car. Thank God we didn't. Anyway, when we got on, the kids came onto the pitch. And, I mean, a lot of kids, hundreds of kids. And they stopped the car. They got in front of the car. I couldn't go no further. And they got on top of the car. And I wound my window up, and everyone wound their windows up. They got on top of the car, and they pushed the car down into the mud, you see. And then the kids around, there was kids getting pushed up against the car from the weight of the other kids behind them, and you could see all their faces crushed up against the glass and all that. And the roof came in and on top, and it was really getting quite ex-certificate, I mean, real macabre it was getting. And we were saved actually by the Stars football team came wading in there, chucking the kids away, and it was nasty, like when they got all the kids away, there was a couple of kids was under the car that got pushed into the mud.
Gee. All right. One more. Let's look at this little 36. It's the 36-second one, and then I'll be done. This is him in the 60s, I guess. Looks like it's him from the
Well, I
70s.
fell in the audience.
This isn't 60s. This is 70s shit. Look at the hair. That's 70s. They're lying to us. Whatever.
It's on the last American tour.
Yeah,
It
but
seemed
he
to
was
go
drunk,
down
Ron.
all right. Mind
Yeah,
you,
but
I
he
always,
was
always have
drunk.
a few
There's
before I go on.
Nothing to do with what the man asked you, man. Answer seriously, will you?
Okay, Ronnie, don't get uptight
There
about
aren't
the
any
whole
bad
thing.
vibes in this band, you know, especially in front of the viewers. No, actually, I think the audiences do like to feel that, you know, you're one of them. And I think it's nice when they do, because, I mean, the show depends on the audience entirely. You can only give so much, and then if they don't give it back to you, then the whole thing fizzles out like a damn squib, you know.
Yeah. Damp squib. I don't know what that means, but that's something that British people say. It's funny. Anyway, yeah, I guess this will be the end. So, I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.